Being sued? What you need to know. Being sued? Hello, welcome to the Department of Consumer and Business Affairs. In this video, we will discuss the options and requirements available to the party being sued in a small claims case. Topics covered: discovering you are sued, contact the party who sued, register for LASC Online Dispute Resolution, ODR, request dismissal, challenge the venue, request a postponement, the defendant sues the plaintiff, and defendant appears at the hearing. Discovering you are sued. Typically, the party being sued, called the defendant, first discovers they are being sued when a server comes knocking on the door and announces, "These are court papers." The court papers are called the Plaintiff's Claim Form SC-100 and were filed with the court by the party that started the lawsuit, called a plaintiff. The court papers must be handed to the defendant or to a person eligible to accept court papers on behalf of the defendant. The court hearing date is listed on the first page of the Plaintiff's Claim form. This is the date that the defendant is expected to attend the hearing. Contact the party who sued. You may respond in many different ways. Before the hearing date, the defendant can register for the LASC Online Dispute Resolution, ODR, and try to resolve the matter, with a possibility of dismissing the case. If the defendant believes they owe the money, the defendant can contact the plaintiff and make arrangements to pay the plaintiff and ask for the lawsuit to be dismissed. The request for dismissal form is the CIV-110. If the defendant feels that they are owed money, they might file their own lawsuit. Register for the LASC Online Dispute Resolution, ODR, at https://my.lacourt.org/ODR/small-claims. If the defendant does not choose to pay the plaintiff the full amount of the demand, then the defendant must register for LASC Online Dispute Resolution, ODR, referred to as ODR for short, within 5 calendar days of receiving the ODR notice. The notice should have been included with the plaintiff's claims when the court papers were served. To register for ODR, go to the website displayed on this slide. ODR helps parties reach agreements to settle the case online, by computer, without phone calls or meetings. If all parties agree on a settlement, they will not have to attend a court hearing. Review the form for details. Request dismissal. If an individual defendant wants to be dismissed, or have the entire case dismissed, the defendant makes the request by submitting the request for a court order and answer, Form SC-105. The form is filed with the court and mailed to all other parties in the case. Some reasons to request a dismissal are: the defendant believes that the plaintiff mistakenly sued the wrong party, the defendant has been sued by the same plaintiff for the same issue before, or the defendant believes there was improper service of court papers, such as serving court papers outside California, when the cause of action was not involving a vehicle accident or California real estate. Challenge the venue. If the defendant believes they are being sued in the wrong county or a wrong court location within Los Angeles, the defendant can submit a venue challenge letter. A sample letter is on our website. Be sure to send the original letter to the court and a copy to all the other parties named on the case at least 15 days prior to the hearing date. When the defendant challenges the venue, the defendant does not have to attend the court hearing. On the day of the hearing, the judge will make the determination, and if the defendant is not present and loses the venue challenge, a new court date should be set for the parties to appear. If the court enters a judgment, when you are not present, you have the right to file a motion to vacate Form SC-135. On the form, be sure to include CCP 116.370. Request a postponement. If the defendant is unable to attend the hearing on the court date listed on the plaintiff's claim, the defendant can file a request for postponement Form SC-150 and follow the following instructions on the form. The defendant must also fill out the proof of service by mail form, SC-112A, as all parties involved in the case must be served with the postponement paperwork. Both forms must be submitted to the court at least 10 days prior to the hearing, along with a $10 fee, which is only required after service was done. Some reasons to request a postponement are the defendant will not be available on the date of the hearing, or the defendant needs more time to gather evidence and prepare for a case. The defendant sues the plaintiff. If the defendant wants to sue the plaintiff for money owed in another matter, the defendant can file a defendant's claim form, SC-120. The defendant could also file their own lawsuit by filing a plaintiff's claim form, SC-100. The defendant might choose this option if they want to add additional defendants to their claim. However, if the amount a defendant wants to countersue for is more than the small claims maximum, the defendant can file their lawsuits in limited civil court for amounts over $10,000 and request a judge to have the small claims case transferred to the higher court by filing the application in order for transfer small claims form SCLA-014. Defendant appears at the hearing. Defendant can appear in person, by telephone, or virtually. To appear remotely, you may visit my.lacourt.org/LACC welcome. You must register prior to the court date. It costs $15 to appear by phone or video. Both plaintiff and defendant may appear in person instead of virtually by just showing up on the day of the trial. If you want to appear virtually, you may not do it at the last minute. Finally, the defendant can decide they want to appear at the hearing and present their case to the judge to show why they do not owe the money the plaintiff is requesting. If the defendant is going to present evidence to the court, they must follow the rules outlined in Form Exchange and Submission of Evidence by using Forms LASC-CIV 278 and LASC-CIV 279. The same rules apply when the defendant has filed a defendant's claim. If you would like additional information about the small claims process, visit our website https://dcva.lacounty.gov/small-claims/. This concludes our review of the options and requirements available to the party being sued in a small claims case. Thanks for watching.